everybody and welcome to my channel. My name's Tabby and I make videos on motherhood, fashion, beauty, lifestyle, interiors, vlogs and anything in between. So it's great to have you here. If you're new, I'd love for you to subscribe and yeah, let's get into the video. So today I thought I'd talk to you about something that is the absolute bane of my life at the moment, and that is teething, aka the thing that nobody tells you about when you're pregnant and makes you wonder what the hell you have done at 3 AM. So my little boy at the moment has 4 teeth on the top and 2 at the bottom, and he's got another 2 coming through at the bottom. And yeah, we've had quite a few disturbed nights as of recent, so I thought, what better subject to come and talk to you about today? So if you are a mum who is just starting their teething journey, don't worry, you're not alone, okay? There's loads of us going through it and you're doing a great job, so just keep doing what you're doing. But I'll try and give you a few hints and tips and things that we've done that have made it slightly more bearable. So teething can start as early as 3 months, but normally starts around kind of 6 months. And I'd like to think that the worst of it was over by 12 months, although my little boy is 14 months and we are still struggling. So don't believe what the internet tells you, people, they lie. But by kind of 2.5, your baby should have, or your toddler should have, all of their teeth. So there is an end in sight, so don't worry, it doesn't last forever. And I've also found with teething that it kind of comes in bursts. So my little boy started teething around 6 months, and then once the first teeth were through we had a break, and then when the next lot of teeth were through we had a break, and now we're going through some more teeth, and after that, let's hope we get a break. So if this is the start of your teething journey, there's a few kind of symptoms that can give you clues that your baby is actually starting to teeth, and these include kind of chewing on their fingers, your fingers, objects, loads and loads of drool, big red cheeks that can sometimes look a bit like spotty. They can become really irritable and fussy. Restlessness and disturbed sleep, which I'm sure you're having experience of right now and is probably why you ended up at this video. And also they can suffer with sore gums. We didn't actually suffer with sore gums too much, but we did find that the tooth buds came really visible, and then you see like a little white line when the tooth actually breaks through, and then once it's come through a little bit, then generally things start to settle down. So one thing that we found, which probably isn't the same for everybody, but this is like personal experience to us, is when he was teething, all the extra kind of drool and mucus and stuff used to make him sick when eating, which was, you know, just an added stress on top of everything else. I'm sure that doesn't happen to everybody, but it did happen to us and it did stress me out like massively. So one thing that I've found to be really effective is, if you've watched my baby favourites video, you'll see I've got like a little newbie feeder with a mesh bag on the end. I haven't got it here at the moment, but you can see it in that video. You just kind of unscrew it and then you can put things in the mesh bag and then re-screw it and they can kind of gnaw on it. So if you make some weak chamomile tea, fill an ice cube tray and put it in the freezer, along with maybe some of their favourite fruits, and then put the frozen fruit and 1 ice cube of that chamomile tea into the mesh bag and then give it to them to chew. That's a really effective method. It gives them something nice and cold to ease the gums. The chamomile tea is really soothing. And obviously the frozen fruit, it gives it a really nice taste as it kind of starts to defrost in their mouth. So that's one tip that I found really very effective. And then I did find some really effective teething toys as well. Our absolute favourite, and my little boy's favourite, is this watermelon, which you've probably heard me talk about before from Dr. Brown's. I just picked this up on a whim from our local chemist, and it has been the absolute go-to teething toy. It's absolutely brilliant. It's really kind of soft rubber, and he just loves chewing on this. That is the absolute favourite, which is closely followed by this newbie teether, which has kind of got like a pimply texture on the one side and is ridged on the other, and then this yellow bit is kind of hard plastic, and he will chew every single bit of this, and if you come at him like this with it, he will open his mouth to have it in. So these two are the absolute two most effective teethers that I've found with my little boy. And the great thing about this as well is you can just put just a dot of teething gel on this, so that when he puts it in his mouth it kind of rubs it on the gums without you having to like get a finger in there and whatnot. So I really rate those two. Others that we bought but I don't rate so much is this newbie kind of ring with these bits on. These are just too big, I find, to go in his mouth, but he does love this in the car and he does love the noise it makes, but as a teether he just prefers this bit on the top, so not brilliant. This one, again, it's got loads of textures and things on it, but again he just prefers the bit of material at the top. And then this is another Dr. Brown's, which he never really took to. I don't actually have a Sophie the Giraffe because the whole kind of mould story put me off. I'm sure it's fine. I know loads of people absolutely swear by it, but once I saw the mould inside it and knew it had got like a hole where saliva and goo and stuff could go in, it was just a no-go. So this was kind of the kind of nod to a giraffe. This is a Dr. Brown's. It's okay, but he never really reaches for it or picks it up as a preferred teether. So those were okay, but not great. But as you probably noticed, the material bits were a really, were his like preferred chewy bits on these. So one thing that we have done is got a washcloth, just like a face flannel, like dip it in water or chamomile tea and then put it in the freezer, and then they've got one end to gnaw on like the cold material and the other end to hold and not freeze their little hands off. So that worked really, really well. Another thing I really, really rate is this really, sorry I keep saying really. One thing that I also rate is these newbie bibs. So they're ones that go around the neck. They can come off easily because they're just Velcro. So there's no worry about it kind of being too tight around the neck. And they've got this like built-in teether at the bottom, and it also collects all the dribble, which helps stop the rash as they dribble down their chin. So these I found to be really, really effective. I've got a few of these, the others are in the wash. This one is a lovely owl design this side and polka dots the other, so they're really unisex as well. And yeah, when he's having a particularly dribbly day, I put this on and it does the job of soaking up drool and also gives him something to chew on should he want it. So moving on to kind of medicinal things you can do. The first thing I would just like to recommend is this Vileda face cream. This is what it looks like just there. You've probably seen that I swear by the nappy cream version of this, but this is actually the face cream, and I found this is really, really effective for soothing the red cheeks that you get when teething, any rash that you get from drool down the chin and neck. Just the smallest amount of this just rubbed on can really ease any soreness. Obviously, we treat him with the usual Calpol and ibuprofen should he get a temperature related to teething or a temperature full stop. What I tend to do is on really, really bad nights where he's having a really, really bad night of teething and it's in obvious pain, I give him 2.5 mils of Calpol and 2.5 mils of ibuprofen, and I found that is, and I give those at the same time, and I found that is the absolute best combination of medicines to give to help relieve pain. I don't always buy the branded ibuprofen and paracetamol. I buy the branded versions. The like supermarket owned versions are just as good and have exactly the same ingredients, and that will obviously save you a bit of money. So the next thing is infant teething powders. I've got two, which are the Ashton & Parsons infant powders and the Teether teething granules, and to be honest I can't really pick between these two. I haven't noticed any significant difference from one over the other. My little boy personally seems to prefer the teether ones. He will settle quicker with these, but I've put these in my own mouth and can't really tell really much difference. I believe that these may be ever so slightly cheaper, but they're both around the £5.80 mark. Let's see how many sachets you get. So the Ashton Parsons one, you get 30 sachets, and the teether ones you get 24 sachets. They're around about the same price, and to be honest, I can't really pick between them. Sorry, I've just had a massive coughing fit. I've really got the worst cold. Like, children bring back the most bugs ever. And I don't think I've actually made a YouTube video yet in the last kind of 2 to 3 weeks where I haven't been ill. I only use 1 sachet a day, and I put it in his mouth just before he goes to bed to try and ease his gums and stuff a little bit, just so that he can get off to sleep easier. So that's what I use those for. Next up is teething gels. I have 3 that I've tried. I've got the teething gel, I've got Bonjela, and I've also got the Newbie All Natural teething gel. I haven't used this one as much, so I can't really comment. But these do seem to help just kind of ease any immediate pain in the night. So whereas like the teething granules I put in his mouth before he goes to bed, I actually find the granules not appropriate for use in the night when he's kind of sleepy or if he's crying, because obviously tipping granules into the mouth, they breathe in the powder and it can make them like really cough and splutter. So I don't rate teething granules at night or in the night, but that's where I find teething gel comes in really, really handy. So in the middle of the night when they're crying and they are obviously in pain, a little bit of this on a clean finger and just rubbed on where you actually know that the pain is coming from, I just find to be really, really effective. So out of all 3 of these gels, I think actually the one that I reach for the most is the Nelson's Teether gel, and this is only because the Bonjela, I find when I put it on my finger, it like slides off really easily. It's got quite a watery texture, whereas the Nelson's Teether will kind of stay where I want it on the finger so that I can turn my finger over and get it where it's needed in the mouth. I find with the Bonjela, when I'm trying to like manoeuvre my finger to get it in the mouth to kind of put it where it's needed, by that time it's kind of slid off and is all over his face or all over my clothes or whatever. So the Teether one is probably the one that I would recommend over the other 2. But they're all very close and they all do the same thing. The most effective treatment I've found is the Anbesol liquid, and I actually have some of this for myself as well because I suffer a lot with mouth ulcers, and I find this is really, really effective on stopping the pain from mouth ulcers. So this is must be just as effective to relieve his pain from teething. So I would really, really recommend this. And this is the liquid. So this just comes in a little bottle like so, and you just unscrew the lid, put a bit again on a clean finger and just rub it where is required. And I think it's quite a reasonable price. This cost me £2.99, so it's cheaper than the teething powders, and in my opinion is a lot more effective, and there's a lot more doses in there as well. And then just as an add-on on the end is if your baby is suffering with fever as part of their teething, I do find this Braun digital thermometer really, really useful because you don't have to touch the baby with it. If you press the button, you'll see it kind of lights up with a light there, and as long as that is kind of within a distance from the head, and it will give you a temperature reading. As you can see, my temperature is a little bit up at the moment. But yeah, I just find that really, really handy because I can keep an eye on his temperature without actually having to disturb him, especially if he's asleep. Basically, once you've spent all your money on all the fancy schmancy stuff, these are the things that he actually prefers to chew for teething that he really shouldn't. Books, the end of his hairbrush, this drum beater, the ends of glasses, this hammer, the soft end, this person, his comb, this horse, and any of these given wooden figures that will come out. So of everything I've bought, those are the things he actually prefers to chew. So I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any extra tips or tricks that you want to pop in the comments down below to help other mums and dads, then please do. Oh my god, it's snowing. No wonder I'm so cold today. I was just going to wear this, like, my life is a Disney movie top. But then I had to put this, like, massive woolly cardigan on over the top because it's just freezing. No wonder. It is snowing. Oh my god. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.